Hello. This video provides an introduction to the wounded self according to the compassionate self-dialogue and inner healing theory. All personally identifying information has been removed from this post, and this example is a conglomeration of multiple clients I have worked with over the years. Sam has been practicing the compassionate self-dialogue and inner healing process for a while. He contacted me saying that his wounded self has been more in charge of him recently, and that he has been feeling down, having negative thoughts about himself, and putting himself down ever since beginning a new relationship with someone he recently met. He is sometimes uncertain where he stands with the woman he is dating. The main concern that Sam brought up in therapy is that the other day, he noticed that when someone at work was trying to compliment him at work, Sam was very dismissive and didn't take in the compliment. He mentioned that when he looks back at that interaction, he probably came across as very rude to his co-worker. Sam said that after he was complimented, he immediately internally rejected the compliment, telling himself that the complimentary words are not true of him, and his co-worker doesn't really mean what he said. Then he just felt like shutting down emotionally and withdrawing. He dismissed the compliment and then became quieter than usual. Sam reflected that he probably left his co-worker feeling puzzled and possibly hurt his feelings. There are some other concepts to discuss that I don't mention here, such as the possibility that Sam may be abandoning his inner child, giving himself up for this new relationship which may be affecting his mood. I will discuss this concept in another video. What I might say to Sam is, it might be worth exploring on your own, with deep compassion for your wounded self, the reasons why your wounded self felt, or may still feel, the need to control, avoid, or protect. Your wounded self may be trying to control in order to try to get love and avoid pain, or to protect you. Your wounded self has very good reasons for why he decided he needed to protect you during childhood. Your wounded self is the conditioned part of you that was developed with the intention of helping you to survive during your childhood. And your wounded self very well may have helped you survive your childhood. But the defense mechanisms of your wounded self are no longer serving you. Your loving adult self developed over time in relationship with your higher guidance. Once you develop your loving adult self more, bond more, nurture, and show your inner child that you are constantly there for him, that you cherish him, and want to listen to him, and meet his needs, your wounded self may eventually be able to relax and let go. Once he realizes that your loving adult self is the loving, wise, responsible adult. The wounded self will eventually realize that your loving adult self is running things and taking care of things much better than he does. The wounded self will let go of the reins of control and may actually submit to the leadership of the loving adult self. Richard Schwartz, who developed the theory called internal family systems, said that he believes the inner child sometimes doesn't know how old we truly are until we tell him or her. The inner child may think that we are only 9 years old, or 12 years old, or 15 years old, for example. He or she may not know that we are now an adult. The wounded self is often stuck at the younger ages, age 3, 5, 7, 9, or could even be age 12 or 15, etc. Aspects of the wounded self could be both younger, the age of a baby, and age 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12, 15, etc. The wounded self is stuck at the developmental level of a child or teenager. The wounded self can also be called the child adult. The wounded self is not fully an adult. The wounded self is still a child or teen in many ways. We don't want aspects of the wounded self derailing our adult lives. For example, if I had an angry, tantruming 3-year-old inside, I would not want her hijacking my personality and beginning to take the wheel of my car in road rage while I am driving, when I become mad or frustrated at another driver. That's interesting that you couldn't take compliments at work yesterday. That suggests that your wounded self was in control in those moments, and you are believing lies about yourself. These are the false beliefs of the wounded self, developed probably during childhood to help protect yourself. You can honor and thank your wounded self for helping you survive into adulthood. You can express gratitude to your wounded self for that. And from your loving adult self, in connection with your higher guidance, you can explore with your wounded self the reasons why your wounded self is telling you lies. With deep compassion for your wounded self, you can ask your wounded self why he feels the need to control, avoid, or protect you from harm or suffering. Ask him when this first started. Ask him to take you back to the memory and to explain his reasoning. Express gratitude to him again and tell him that he did a very good job of protecting you until now, but that you will handle it from here as the loving adult, the papa, father, dad, daddy. And when you are back in that memory the wounded adult shows you, invite higher guidance in, and from your loving adult self be present for your inner child, at whatever age he is, and sit with his feelings, acknowledge what he went through, validate, validate, validate his feelings, and let him know that while no adult was emotionally present for him at that moment in time, you are here for him now. Then just be with him, bringing in that healthy fathering or daddy love to him, from higher guidance. Your loving adult, in connection with higher guidance, brings that love, compassion, acceptance, nurturing, validation, empathy, healing, on, in and through, all the way down to your inner child. You bring that love, nurture, kindness, acknowledgement deep down within to your inner child. And then your inner child will need to let that in. Love, acceptance, empathy, validation, kindness, caring, support, wisdom, inspiration, healing, etc. You being present for him in his pain, being a witness to what happened, validating, validating, validating his feelings, and acknowledging what he went through, showing him that you have a deep understanding and deep compassion and empathy for him will help him feel understood and loved. The feeling of relief that he experiences when you are present for him like this will indicate that he feels understood, listened to, and that his feelings are validated.